I've been away for a couple of weeks, and whilst I've been away, two fairly significant things have happened in the world of Explain. The first is that Explain 12.1 beta has been issued, which Laminar claim makes massive step forward for scenery rendering, both in terms of the visual quality and also the frame rate. And the other thing that's happened is that Orbx have finally gotten around to upgrading their Great Britain southern and central scenery to Explain 12. Now, I've had a lot of problems with frame rate on Explain 12, um, both with the Orbx scenery. The Explain 11 version on Explain 12 has been very odd, I think I'd say, in terms of frame rate, up and down like a yo-yo, sometimes really good, sometimes not so good. And the same has been true of Explain itself. With or without the Orbx scenery, I found the frame rate frustratingly unreliable. So the question is, have the improvements that Laminar Research have rendered made the difference that's going to make Explain a more reliable and usable platform in all situations? Am I going to be able to fly over central London, and is the new Orbx scenery any good? The only way, really, to find that out is to give it a go. So I have arranged a little flight between Earlscolne to Duxford, Duxford to Elstree, and then from Elstree over to Brooklands via central London. Now you might wonder why that route. Because Earlscolne, Duxford, and Elstree have all been the scenes of frame rate bomb outs for me in the past, and I've had to make some considerable compromises in terms of object density and so on. So this little flight is using the new Orbx scenery. It's using 12.1 beta 5, I think, and it's also got the object density, the vegetation density on maximum, and it's got the animated trees enabled. So it's as bad as it's going to get for Explain, so we'll see how it gets on. Oh, and spoiler alert, it's actually pretty good. So that's really good news. Okay, now we're going to take off on 24. We'll go on the left-hand runway, which is the metalled runway, and we will be turning out to the northwest. To Duxford. And then we'll maybe touch and go at Duxford if I've got time, and we'll pottle a bit closer to London and just see what the effect on the frame rate is. Now, historically, there's been issues with the number of trees, so the vegetation density, probably more so than the object density. But it'd be interesting to see what effect the new version has. So far, so not so shabby, to be fair. So this part of the flight out of Earlscolne used to be very problematic from a frame rate perspective. It was very inconsistent, but quite often would drop into the low teens and be very problematic. And with the new versions of everything, it's just sitting rock solid in the mid 30s, and it's a lot more, seems a lot more stable. So onwards to Duxford. and I will see you there. Landing at Duxford was another thing that should have been easy, but always seemed to be really hard from a frame rate perspective, and this is definitely better. Looks better too. Right then, head in towards London and see what happens. See you at Elstree. Coming into Elstree, again rock solid, around 35ish. By this point I'd be at 12 or 13 FPS in the older versions, so this is just such an improvement. I was so impressed by the Elskiln to Elstree experience that I decided the next day to tag a low-level flight over central London with the same settings onto the video, and this is that flight. Okay, so we started yesterday with a flight that had previously been problematic from a frame rate perspective down to Elstree. Now we're going to try something really tricky. We're going to fly over Wembley, and we're going to go over Buckingham Palace and the House of Parliament, and end up at Brooklands. So it's not a long flight. It's highly illegal in the real world, but let's see how we get on with frame rate. So I think we're going off on 2.6. By the looks of the wind. Yep, 2.6. Let's get cracking. Okay, airspeed's alive. And we're in the air. Let's get a little nav map set up to follow. That's it. keep it relatively low. I think about 1,000 feet or so, because we want to be able to see the scenery, don't we? That's interesting. Still above 30. Okay, that'll do. 1,100 feet. So it'll be interesting to see how it copes as the density of objects increases. So we're heading towards Wembley first. There it is, look. There it is. Still doing 34 frames per second. And for those of you with super powerful machines, that might not seem like much, but that's I think for me, first couple of outings with it, the experience is the stability is the thing. How about that? You see the gantry over the top, look. Amazing. Still solidly in the 30s. And it's not just the fact that the frame rate's, you know, okay, it's the consistency as well. So far. Now obviously this is quite a big test. Flying over central London at 1,500 feet in X-plane with the object density at its maximum. It's the closest to a tested destruction I can think of. Modern collector malarkey that they've come up with does appear to be working, doesn't it? There's the shard, look. think I've overshot, haven't I? There it is, look, Parliament. How about that? Buckingham Palace. Very good. I definitely have a typhoon after me by now. Well, that's amazing. Have to say. I'm going to have a look for St. Paul's while I'm here. Okay. Let's St. Paul's. Still 32. It's rock solid. And there's Tower Bridge. You can see Canary Wharf. Goodness me, below the level of the Shard. Ah, London Eye, look. Oh, I tell you what about Trafalgar Square? There he is. Nelson on his column, look. Buckingham Palace. If we go this way, we should be able to find London Victoria. There's Battersea Power Station over there. I was discussing the upgrade to Orbx scenery with some friends, and we noticed that it said summer only season. So the question was posed, would it work with snow in XP12? So let's give it a go. If I change the conditions, so snowy and icy maximum, precipitation, high airport temperature, -18 or something, snowy and icy. Leave the visibility as it is so we can see. Not sure if I've done that right, but we'll give it a go. Oh, look at that! So there's your answer, Dave. It's snowing, and the snow looks real as well. It's white, not blue, not black. That has improved the frame rate a little bit. Alright, let's crack on to Brooklands. I think probably find that the deciduous trees have still got their leaves underneath the layer of snow. Good enough for me, I'll be honest. We'll see what the runway looks like. For Walton on Thames. Head between those two lakes. I say lakes, bodies of water. Not sure what they are, to be honest. The one ahead of us looks a bit like a reservoir to me. Yeah. Hampton Court Palace. There's a curve in the road up there I'm interested in, because that's my marking point for getting set up, I think. Right, here we go. Brooklands is almost at ground level. Sea level, should I say, not ground level. Of course it's at ground level. Stupid thing to say. There's the railway. There's the railway. Ooh, I think that might be it there. We'll have to have a bit of a tootle around without the snow and see if they've got the bits of banking from the old racetrack days. Let's put the flaps down now. I think it's going to be a bit of a adventurous one, I'd say. You have to thing is, it's just a grass strip, that's the problem. So it's to the right of the little river, if we can see the little river, which of course we can't because it's snowing. Here we are. I think that's it there, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. There it is. There you go. Explain 12.1 Beta 5 with the upgraded Orbx scenery, both of which I would say represent a significant step forward for the Explain experience. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.